Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Shout out that chick, yo. Toronto Riggers in the building. D-Rod, what's up, my guy? Oh, man, some plans. I see it. Manifestation season. Manifestation season, what we're talking about. I love it. I love to see it. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Motivation, where we build community, expand our thoughts, and get our day started on the right foot. I'm your host, Jamar, and I'm excited for you to be here today to share this time with you. While you're coming in the building, thank you for hitting those likes. Really appreciate it. What's up, boo? Happy to have everybody in the building today. And we are going to continue with the vein that we started on last week. And I know I'm jumping right into it, but that's how it's going down today. We're going to circle back around, do some check-ins here in a minute. But there's been a lot of things on my heart, on my mind lately. And I've been seeing a few things that's really made me pause and think. Really made me pause and think about life and how we're doing this thing called life. We talk about mastery. We talk about becoming an expert. We're talking about goal accomplishment, shifting our thoughts and our paradigms and being grateful for what we have and where we've been and where we've gone. The good times as well as the bad times, being grateful for them. And also setting our affirmations and setting the right intentions. That's what we've been talking about on this channel for quite some time. And so we are in the place now that, as they say, when the rubber hits the road. We talk about in athletics, we talk about practice and you play like you practice. And I want to shout out my guy D-Rob, right? I just read your comment, bro. I'm proud of you. So you got a chance to go coach at a very prominent high school in Florida. He just need to get that master's degree, or associate, no, not a master's, associate's degree. So look, I'm excited for you. It can be done. There's a lot of different ways to get it. Thank you, my producer here. I appreciate you. Welcome to Morning Motivation. That's right. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you. See, shout out. I got a producer in the building, yo. I got a producer in the building. The craziest thing is I saw it and I went to hit it, but squirrel, I got distracted. So what we're talking about today is, I know we said we was going to go into seeds, what these seeds look like. Sowing seeds, what does it look like? The whole process of it. We know how it really works in farming, and it's very much the same way in our minds. But there was a story that came across my feed about a young lady who passed away a few months ago. And I don't want to start this out on a little on the dark side, but I want to impress the point, and I want to really impress it. We talked about on Friday my motorcycle accident and how I had to have multiple surgeries and I had a weight bearing injury where they had a titanium rod in my leg. Y'all remember that? Put a one in the chat if y'all remember Friday, me talking about me having this weight bearing injury where I could still put weight on it because the rod was keeping everything else stable, but it hurt. We was talking about how powerful are you on Friday? How powerful are you? That's what we talked about. And I said this week we were gonna go into sowing seeds and what those seeds look like, the process and how they grow. And so after my motorcycle accident, I had an epiphany. It dawned on me that had I died in that accident, I hadn't accomplished many of my dreams. I was living a life that I wasn't happy with. I had some results for some of the work that I had done, but my life had become stagnant. Can anybody relate? Bruh. Can anybody relate to a stagnant life? You know you should be doing more. You have the skills, you have the talent, you have the ability. But for some reason, you're not doing it. Can anybody relate to that? Put a 2 in the chat if you can relate. Just give me a 2 if you can relate. And it seems that life is kind of passing you by just a little bit. You got friends and family members that are accomplishing some things and you're happy for their success, but you also feel a little way because something is in the way of your success. And so after my accident, after I was able to get back to work, I went back to work. I found a passion, something that I was super excited to do. I expanded on my skill set in the video production space, and that allowed me to, earn a little bit higher income, to meet new people, to expand my network. But my life still wasn't in a space that I was excited about. And I couldn't figure it out. And so I went through a depression, minimum 8 years. It might have been closer to 10. But for 8 years, I did enough. I did enough to keep the household running, the family going. But I was miserable on the inside. And I wasted so much time with the woe is me's. With the woe is me's. So many years I spent just doing enough while my counterparts, my friends, and other family members were out accomplishing goals and dreams and living their best life while I was sitting there still trying to figure it out, still feeling somewhat sorry for myself. And eventually I lost all my momentum. I lost my focus. And I started existing.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I just started existing. And one day, I met someone who introduced me to somebody else. And they were full of life. They were full of hope. They were full of exciting ideas and dreams. And they rekindled something in me. And I decided I'm changing. I gotta change. I can't sit here much longer. I can't stay in this broken place much longer. Because I almost lost my life. And had I lost my life, I would not have been pleased with what I left behind. My children wouldn't have had a legacy to be proud of. My dad passed a few years ago, but he left us really nothing. Maybe some insurance money, but they were still younger, so I hadn't finished. That time period between 13 and 21 is crucial as a parent. It's almost as important as 0 to 5. 0 to 5 is the most important. But that 13 to 21, those are the times where you get to be coach. You get to be the guidance counselor. You get to be the one who is helping them navigate adult and real life. When they have their first heartbreaks, when they have their first job interviews, when they're trying to go off to college, they're trying to decide what they want to be. It's those words of wisdom and that advice that gives them the leg up on a lot of their peers. It gives them a jump start. You know, when they need advice about something, they got somebody they can reach back and call. And then when they go out and inevitably start to self-destruct, because who gonna check me, boo? I know everything. I got it figured out. And then the world slaps them around a little bit. When they come home, it's crucial that you're there to give them that guidance. So why am I talking about this? Why do I seem to be just gunning it this morning? Well, over the weekend, for those of you who are not sports fans, we have started March Madness. And March Madness is a time when college basketball is at the forefront of the sporting world. We're crowning national champions. This is the time where legendary coaches are made, schools earn their reputation, and players become superstars. They call it March Madness because it is actually not just one tournament, it's two tournaments. It's the men's tournament, but also the ladies' tournament as well. And they're going on pretty much at the same time. So it's basketball everywhere. So if you passing a TV in every bar, restaurant, hotel lobby, you see basketball on, that's why. And Georgetown, I'm not a Big East fan much. They have some great moments. And Georgetown historically has been a really good school for sports. But one thing I never realized, that the ladies basketball team had never won a Big East championship. In all the years they've been in the Big East, they've never won a championship. Now, the men, that's where Allen Iverson went to. So Allen Iverson and Coach John, I forget his last name. Big guy. Legendary coach there. Allen Iverson, legendary player, came through there. And a lot of great talent has come through Georgetown. But back in October, Tasha Butts, she was the head coach of the ladies squad. But 2 years before that, she was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm not going to talk it. I'm going to play a clip real quick so you guys can see what I'm referring to, so you guys get a better understanding of why I'm so gun-ho this morning about this message.
Today, the Central Georgia sports community lost an icon. Tasha Butts lost her battle with breast cancer at the age of 41. Connor Hines Joyce is in the studio now with more. Connor?
Yeah, Camila, that's right. An icon, a legend, and straight up one of the best to ever step on a basketball court. Tasha Butts was Central Georgia basketball right up until the day she lost her battle with breast cancer at the age of 41. Butts grew up in Milledgeville and played for the Baldwin Bravettes, a state champion, consensus All-American, and Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year. She went on to have a highly decorated career in college hoops, both as a player at Tennessee and then as a coach. She was most recently named head coach at Georgetown University this past April, but stepped away last month to focus on her health. Loved by so many in the 478 tonight. The reactions are pouring in for the Central Georgia legend, friend, and Central High School basketball coach Tamara Bolston-Williams tweeting, "Our number 23 gained her wings on the 23rd day of the 23rd year today." The Baldwin Bravettes tweeting, "Our Baldwin family mourns the loss of a Bravette legend. Your legacy and impact will forever be held in our hearts." And you too, remembering Tasha, the coach and player tonight. Let's check out some of those reactions now. Meredith says she remembers Coach Butts during her AAU days. She watched her play during Tennessee days too, and is sending prayers to Tasha's family and friends. Lauren says Tasha Butts was a fun player to watch at Baldwin High, and she remembers driving with her dad to watch her play. Lauren added that Butts was kind to a young girl aspiring to be just like Tasha. And Kathy sharing her condolences as well to family and friends after watching her play and coach. Still ahead later on in sports, we're continuing to remember Tasha Butts, taking a look back on an incredible legacy that she left behind after her playing days at Baldwin were over.
All right, I won't stop it there, but this was a very focused, intentional young lady. So, shout out to her family and, rest in peace, Tasha. Your legacy was established. And she did something. She recruited and she coached and she worked really hard to get her squad to a place that it mattered. And so this year, for the first time, they started the season, practicing with her, but then then she passed away at the beginning of the season. And so this team has taken her lessons and her messages, and they've used her life as an inspirational piece to power them through, because they don't have the most talented team. But they've been able to channel that energy and use her examples to do something that the school has never done. And that's, even make it to a championship game. So I just want to say shout out to Tasha, but I'm sure she's going to be missed by those that know her and love her. And I heard of her, through the years. I think I remember when she played in Tennessee, but I never really followed, I don't follow basketball like that until it's like championship time or playoff time. And then I'll lock in, because it's just so much basketball, so many things going on. And I wasn't really an avid basketball player, so, I'm a part-time fan, if you will. But I did remember hearing her name in a lot of circles, and I knew she was a great player. And I didn't realize she had passed. So when I saw this, it kindled that fire in me. And it made me really ask the question, how much time are we wasting? Just think about it for a second. How much time in your life have you wasted? Whether it was out of insecurity, fear, frustration, boredom, self-sabotage. Just wasting time not doing the things that you really want to do. I'm asking, how many times have you played this little song in your head with this little small violin about why you can't do a thing, or who tried to stop you, who sabotaged you? If it wasn't for this person or wasn't for this situation, I would be. And it's starting to turn into a bunch of regrets. I know it's a rhetorical question, because we're all human. We all do it. But the message is this. We don't know how much time we got. We don't know how much time we got. And people will ask me all the time, why do you go so hard? Why do you work so hard? Why do you and your wife, every time I turn around, all y'all do is work? And you can't be this tired. Nobody works this much until they see we do. Why? Because when you feel like you're behind, you got to play catch up. And catch up don't mean doing the same amount of work. Catch up means doing the work that everybody else is doing plus some. Catch up means not only am I going to go to the practice, not only am I going to have a little bit more restrictive diet, not only am I going to go to practice and go to school and get the education, but I'm also going to do extra work after practice. I'm going to run a little bit more. I'm going to get a trainer, or try to get a trainer, or get at least an older cousin or somebody who's been there to give me some pointers, give me some tips, give me some extra work. When you plan from behind, when you realize you wasted too much time, you know there's another gear that I must kick in. D-Rob said a lot of time. That Shaquille said it's too much wasted time. And nobody knows when that last day, because we all got the expiration clock. It's ticking every day. It goes down. And we don't know when it's going to be. We think we got plenty of time because our parents lived a long time or our grandparents lived a long time. But this young lady at 41 is gone. prime of her career, finally realizing dreams, and now her story, her journey is over. D-Rob says, when I messed up my first year at college and I had to come home, I worked for so long at regular lame jobs until I figured out how to work and go pay for school. Yeah. The road is not easy. The process is hard most of the time. But sometimes, y'all, you got to grow where you're planted. Sometimes wherever you find yourself, that's where you got to grow. That's where you must figure out how to take root, how to get the environment to, how you got to manipulate the environment sometimes, because it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But sometimes all we got is what we got, and we got to make do. Come on now, resiliency. As the African American or black communities, we understand more so than most people what resiliency means. It's taking the leftovers from a hog and turned it into something edible. It's taking a little piece of fabric and making clothing out of. It's coming together, sharing resources. D-Rob says, still pushing, but it's hard. I tell you what, yes, that's the process. That is the process. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes as we started today, and I wanted to really, hammer that point home. Everything that we've talked about in this channel for so long has always been about getting our mindset to a place where we're not letting life hang us up. We're not letting circumstances stop us. We're pushing past the point of discomfort. My favorite example has always been when you go to the gym and you start working out. The workout, once you get acclimated to the workout process, once the muscles stop being so sore and you get used to going, you get to a point now where you're 15, 20 minutes in and you just now starting to break a sweat. You just now starting to become uncomfortable. Your muscles are now under a little bit more strain. At that point is when the workout begins, because we adapt to the level that we are. And when we first got there, it was work. Now it's kind of easy. Like you go get on that job and you working, trying to get caught up, trying to figure out how it goes. But the moment you do, it starts getting a little easy. And now it don't take nearly as much to upset you, to make you panic, to throw you off your game. And then we get complacent. That's just human nature. It's how it is. And we find ourselves wasting too much time. Toronto Reagan says, death has no age limit. It happens at any moment. Time can't be recovered. It has to be used in time at the moment that we're giving on a daily basis. I'm learning that now. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes is I heard a guy say a long time ago, I'd rather burn out than rust out. I'd rather burn out than rust out. And burning out is simply you used every resource, you used every gift, every talent that you had. And you may have been busy, you may have worked hard, you may even be at the point where I just need a break. But guess what? The person that didn't work hard, the person that didn't go as far as you went, didn't do as much as you did, guess what? They tired too. I think about all the injuries that I've accumulated through the years, from sports to military, all the stress and strain I put my mind and body under. And I meet people who've never played a sport, never been in the military, never did anything, but they got just as many back problems as I got. They got more knee problems and ankle problems and headaches. I mean, they got just as much stuff as I did, and they did have stuff that I done. So what are you waiting for? Life is yours for the taking, but you must take it. You must take it. It's not going to be given to us. We got to go out there and take it. So shout out again to Tasha Butts, man. Legendary career, legendary status. And so in saying that, I said we was going to get a little biblical this week, and I want to start this week by the parable of the sower, or the talents, the parable of the talents. I want to really lock in on that today, because so many of us have so many gifts and talents that we don't do as much as we should with. We don't do as much as we should with. Put a 1 in the chat if you got talents that you're wasting right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you have talents that you are wasting. You know you are gifted at A, B, C, and D. And because you have so many talents, you never just mastered one and became known for the one. We try to do it all, but it's not about doing it all. It's about doing the thing that we're good at. That's the purpose. That's the reason we have the talent. We're supposed to take that talent and maximize it. Supposed to take that talent and maximize it. But we let so many other things get in the way. That's why I have this saying that I for a show I did years ago, months ago. What are you so busy doing that's preventing you from doing what you should be doing? What up, Positive Self-Talk? What's good? What are you so busy doing that is keeping you from doing the thing that you should be doing? And so one of my favorite Bible stories is the parable of the talents. I've always found it fascinating since I was a little kid, because I never understood, well, it was a bunch I didn't understand in it. But you know what? I'm going to just play it and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Parable is a story that Jesus told to help us better understand his principles.
Jesus.
In this parable, we meet a man who is preparing to go on a journey to a faraway land. This man had 3 servants, and before he left, he entrusted them, each with a portion of his money to watch over while he was gone. With one servant, he left 5 bags of gold. With another, he left 2 bags of gold. And with the last, he left 1 bag of gold. The servant with 5 bags of gold instantly put his gold to work and doubled the money to 10 whole bags of gold.
Now, I remember having a conversation talking about, and this was a Sunday school conversation, and the question was asked, why would the master or the guy who was giving these guys these 5 talents, why would he give him 5? Why would he give the other guy 2? And why would he give the last one 1? Was he playing favorites or what, right? But when you're a supervisor, you know who your most gifted employees are, right? When you're a parent, you know your kids' talents, and you know you can't give one too much, because they might go off there and they still got some maturing that they need to do. So the one who has the most talents, in this case 5 bags of gold, he immediately goes out and he maxes it out. He doubles it. He comes back with 10. Comes back with 10. And so the question that was why the question was asked. Why did the master only give 1 to the 1? Why he ain't give all of them five apiece? Well, one, life, one, it ain't fair. Two, in life you get what you can. You really only get what you can handle, because too much. Downfall for a lot of people. Too much freedom, too much access, too much unaccountability. You just get reckless and just wild out there in these streets. But anyway, I digress. I just thought it was an interesting question.
The servant with 2 bags did the same and doubled his share to 4 bags of gold. But the final servant chose differently. He decided to dig a hole in the ground and bury his share of the gold deep within the earth in fear of losing it. After a long while, the master returned home to collect his gold from the 3 servants. The man with 10 bags presented his share first. The master replied, filled with joy, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with few things, and now I entrust you with many things." The servant with 4 bags of gold went next. The master was again pleased and entrusted the servant with much because he was faithful with little. The final servant presented his share. He explained that rather than investing it wisely, he decided to hide it out of fear. The master was very angry. He collected his money and fired the servant. The servant did not take care of what he was given, and so he lost the master's trust. God.
Oh man, that was a big finger that came across that man's head, wasn't it? All right, so I want to ask a couple questions. I want some feedback, just a little feedback. So in this scenario, this master, he's going away, and he's going to give his servants a chance to invest the money, or to see what they do with the money, basically. And he gives the 1 to 5. He instantly goes out, boom. He hustling whatever he's doing. He makes 10. He gives 1, 2. He comes back with 4. He gives the 1 to 1, and he's out of fear buries it in the ground. So I have a competing thought in my head. What is better, to have multiple gifts or 1 gift? In your opinion, which is better, to have multiple talents or 1 talent? Which is better to y'all? Which one just makes more sense? Which one seems right? Which one seems right? Multiple talents or 1 talent? Now, I don't know if I can only speak from my perspective as y'all answering this question. I can only speak from my perspective, but I remember growing up, and I was, at times, I was selling candy at school. I was helping people with their trash. I was raking leaves and cutting lawns. D-Rob says, multiple sounds good to me. That chick yo says multiple. All right, I see. And what I found out early on was that I had the mental capacity to do various things well. I was a little slow on the uptake sometimes, but once I figured out what the mission was, what I was doing, I was able to do multiple things effectively, or at least adequately. And like most people, I have a couple different talents that make my life better, but could also, make my life worse. We got to find our superpower and use it for good, not evil, right? But as I got older, Toronto Riggins says, it's kind of a tricky question. It just depends on how it's mastered or managed. of talent or multiple. If you're disciplined, it could work with both. Yeah. And it is very tricky. As I got older, I discovered that, what's the old saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Jack of all trades, master of none. That became my calling card. I could do a little bit of everything very well. And then somebody started really talking about, I need to focus. And my thought was, well, why do I need to focus? I can do all of this stuff. But what are you excellent in? What are you giving? Okay, babe, let me see. What are you vigilant at? Vigilant. Yes, I think I said it right. What are you focused on that you've mastered, that you're providing a high quality, that higher than anybody else can provide? And they begin to tell me that's where my value comes in at. That's when you start creating value, that people want to pay you high dollar. People value your time and they're willing to pay for it because you have that level of mastery, of excellence. And they know rain, sleet, snow, shine, you're going to bring your best every time. They can put money on it. They can bank on it. You see, my problem, what was getting in my way, was that I was so stretched out doing so many different things that it became a distraction for me. And then I get to a point where I would burn out. I would get tired and I need a break and I just start dropping stuff. I start ghosting people. But those times when I was able to focus in on one thing, it's on. When I was able to focus on one thing, life got a little sweeter, got a little easier. Reputation got a little bit better. And I don't mean I only did one thing. I mean, I focused on one thing at a time. And once I accomplished over here, and then I moved on to something else. Because I knew I had multiple talents. And I wanted to get a good return on my talents. But if I'm trying to do all 5 at once, I might as well bury it in the ground because I'm going to burn myself out and I'm going to have no return on my investment. No return. And so the guy who had the one, he buried it in the ground out of fear. He didn't want to mess it up. He didn't want to lose it. He didn't want to be ridiculed or teased or picked at. He was afraid of other people's opinions, so he did nothing. I've still got it, though. My dad had this thing when I was growing up, and he would always say, anybody got a parent that says, save your money? Save your money. You need to save your money. But they never tell you what to save it for? Yeah, save for a rainy day. Yeah, nigga, it's raining. I'm trying to take this girl out on Saturday. They ain't got no money. It's raining. She finally said yes. Oh, man. It's a party happening Friday night. I need a new outfit. It's raining. I can't wear these same clothes I wear to school. It's raining. You can't say $5. You can't say $500. My dad was very much to bury it in the ground so you will have it in case you need it for later. Anybody have a parent like that? Or anybody kind of feel that way? Thank you, boo. I've been working on it. I've been saying, I say it wrong every time. Vigilant. It's vigilant. I be saying vigilant. D-Rob said my whole life. My whole life. Yeah, and I finally asked him one day, and this was years later. I think I was in the military, and it was years later, and I finally asked him. I said, Pop, you remember how you always tell us to save our money? He was like, yeah. I said, and you's always a save for a rainy day. So I'm like, man, it's raining. I need something right now. I mean, this is what the money's for, right? I said, you never told us what to save for. So I asked him, I said, so what did you save for? And he had an answer. He said, I save it in case something breaks down, an emergency fund. I save it in case one of y'all get in trouble and need some help. It's for a family. See, he knew why he was saving money, but he couldn't articulate why it was important for us to save money. So there was no value in the proposition. And so we're basically taking that one talent in the saving block community and you just putting it in the ground, or you putting it in the stock market. You putting all your eggs in your 401k and then the market tanks. Ronald Reagan said, I feel like the servant that hid his and was afraid to take a risk. You're not by yourself. Many of us do that. We try to go for what's the safe bet. There is none. There is no safe bet. There are things that are less risky than others. But when I first got out the military, I was a regional or district manager for Ryder, the old trucking company. And we did all their logistics for Bell South telephone company. And when I got there, it was guys had been there 25, 26, 27 years. And as they were getting ready to retire at that 30-year mark, I forget what happened in the economy, but they lost $200,000-$300,000 in their portfolios almost overnight. They had been working for this company for almost 30 years. And as soon as they're getting ready to retire, the market just turned and they lost 50% minimum of their retirement. So what they had to do, they had to stay working. They had to go take other jobs to try to make up some of that slack, because now the plans that they had, they couldn't retire anymore. They couldn't afford to anymore. That chick said probably some mason jars buried in the backyard. Yeah, was it my grandma? I think it was my grandma. Was it? No. She kept it in her bra. She hid it in her bra. It was somebody in my neighborhood. They used to bury in mason jars in the backyard. I cannot remember who it is now, but I was like, yo, you better let nobody else know you got this out here. I've always been honest. So it's like, I ain't gonna bother your stuff. I ain't gonna tell anybody about your stuff. Your secrets are safe with me. I'm not that kind of person. Whatever you do is cool, but I don't want no parts of that. That don't seem smart to me. What if somebody cutting the grass and they see the little hump and they just saw, just anything could happen. I'm not hiding the mattress because the house could burn down and I lost everything. No, I'm not that kind of guy. But yeah, so many of us, we sit on our talents and we don't go out there, we don't become excellent, we don't master it. Therefore, we're burying it in the ground because we're afraid of what the people are going to say. And far too many people bury their talent. Far too many. And so today we're talking about, we're going to continue the conversation, later on in the week, probably Wednesday, talking about what happens when you get this seed, this idea in your mind. When you get it in your mind, what actually happens? I think in the parable it talks about, a farmer goes out to sow seeds and he's just throwing them seeds out there, and some falls on good ground, some falls on the rock, some falls in the thorny places, and what happens to those seeds? Some fall on good soil, and what happens? So we're going to talk about these ideas that we get in our mind, these concepts or these great ideas that form out of nowhere, and we get excited about it. But then we end up in maybe not the right environment. We end up in not the right community. And those ideas, they don't make it. We're going to talk about those things. But today, I really wanted to focus on time. I really wanted to be more vigilant about, that's it, vigilant. Yeah. I really want to be more vigilant and focus on time, because we act like we have so much time. My mom had cancer for the first time in her 30s, and it stayed away until she was 60. It went into remission, and she was cancer-free for a long time, and she never thought it would ever come back, although she saw it happen all the time. My mom is in her late 60s now, been dealing with this second coming for 7 years. This young lady was diagnosed. Her life changed. 2 years later, she's gone at 41. Life comes in phases. In life, when we're young, life gives us a lot. We have our health. We have our strength. We have friends, futures, careers, college. Our relatives are still around. But we get to a point where life starts taking things away. If it happens in proper order, our relatives, grandparents go first. Then our parents. Then we start losing our strength and our vitality as we get into those 40s and those 50s, and we don't have that youthful energy anymore. Start having health challenges. Now we're grabbing brown bags and it's full of medicine. Then we start losing friends, and now we're retiring from careers. That's the story of life. And then we're gone at some point. And so that dash between our birthday and our death date, so many people waste those years because they're scared to risk. They're scared to get out of their comfort zones. And they never truly live. So I want to ask you today to stop wasting time. I know you're gifted. I know you're talented. But the rest of the world needs to know it as well. The rest of the world need to see your talents. They need to see you. Your children need to see you double it. Your nieces and nephews need to see you double the gifts that you were given at birth. The ideas that flow through you. They're supposed to motivate, and they're supposed to inspire other people. You are not an accident. Your life is not an accidental thing. You are supposed to be here because you have work to do. You are supposed to be making a difference. But you can't bury your talents in the ground waiting for the safe bet. You can't be afraid to risk your emotions, your heart, your energy, your time, your money. As the old church say, this is the dress rehearsal. We only get one shot at this. And then the next phase will be the next phase. But right now, we're learning as we go. I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, joy, and a sound mind, faith and hope. All those fruits of the Spirit, whatever is good and pleasant and honorable and of good rapport, think on those things. Stop wasting time. For no man knows the day or the hour. None of us know how we're going to go or when we're going to go, but we do know that we're all going at some point. Make the days count. Make the time matter that you're spending. And as said earlier, sometimes we got to grow where we're planted. It may not be the best environment. It may not be the most ideal situation. Yes, they may have lied on you. They may have broken your heart. They may have abused you. But it doesn't take away your talent. It doesn't take away who you are. It just makes you more wise. It makes you more discerning. Keep moving. Momentum is a hard thing to get back once you lost it. So don't stop. Keep going. Keep pushing. Stop wasting time. Your dreams are literally around the corner. They are literally waiting for you to come and get them. They're waiting. And you can have it. So D-Rob, if it's an associate's degree that you need, we just now got a new priority because your dreams are waiting. If it's a tutor that you need, if whatever, your dreams are waiting. And the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the air and the opportunity. It's a little work involved in that too. But I know you ain't afraid of no work. Just think back to all the lame jobs you had that you didn't like. I don't want to do that no more. I want to coach. I want to do this. Make that your primary goal and you'll have it. You will have it. I am certain of it because I've done it too many times in my life. But anyway, I'm going to get off my tangent right now. That's my soapbox for today, y'all. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. Because the tragedy, top of my goals list, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Top of the goals list. The tragedy is to wait so many years before you start moving. And then one day you get this wild hair, you start growing, you start going, you start having success, and now you accomplish your dreams. But then you only get a month to enjoy it, a year to enjoy it before your time is up. When you could have had 20 years of joy and happiness and legacy. But instead you only got a month. Instead you only got a year. Now, I ain't talking bad about that month or that year because you did it. But you will never enjoy the fruit of your labor as long as you could have. The time is ours, and it's totally up to us what we decide to do with it. And D-Rob said, just want to be clear. When he started doing this thing, if we not at a game, he said he got spray for all of us. Oh, D-Rob said, we go together now, y'all. I said, we family now, bro. No. No. We gonna be there. No worries, D. Hey, bro, look, trust me. I'm definitely a more of an in-person I will show up to whatever live thing happening. Now, if you put it on TV, you put it online, maybe. But if you send me a ticket or you tell me where it's going to be, I buy my own ticket. I'll be there. I just out of support. He said, we're going to line us up one by one. He gonna give us all about 5 seconds apiece, just spraying. Psst. He gonna have to bring a case. But that's what it's about, man. Oh, that chick yesterday, she's security. That chick, I know she's an outstanding manager. I already know it. I already know it because she be keeping me in check on the things that I struggle with, which is the details. I am not the detailed person, but she's vigilant. I'm going to say it. You see, I'm determined, right? I'm going to keep saying this word until I get it right in my head. I don't know where I got the other word from. But, she is dedicated. She knows when something ain't right. She ain't afraid to tell me when something ain't right. I got mad respect. And her consistency, oh, man. And she even let me have it today, y'all. First in the room. Oh, Toronto Ricky said she's coming with the Heifer Spray t-shirt. He said, like off, one by one. But anyway, man, that's how we starting this week off. That's how we starting it off. This 2024 is not just a year of intention, but it's the year that dreams start to become true. because we don't have any more time to waste. We don't have any more time to waste. And I'm talking about myself. You know, I took granddaughter back last night. Baby girl, oh man, I miss her already. She said, I have my moments. Yeah, like, I appreciate them. I love feedback. I truly love feedback. I don't take it personal because I know you are not my enemy. You're trying to help me. And that's the difference in the mindset. When I know that you're with me, exclusive t-shirts. When I know that you with me, I know that you ride with me, I don't take what you tell me personal. I take it as encouragement or feedback or an opportunity to become better. Because I truly am the ultimate team player. I want everybody's success. I don't want to just be successful by myself. I don't want to be sitting on the mountaintop looking down at, oh, piff, piff, what are you peasants doing today? I never wanted that. I want a community on top of the mountain where we can sit out and look at the stars and the clouds and bask in the sun together. That you hear, I need a smedium. She needs that schmedium t-shirt. But that's what life is, man. It's connections. It's progress. It's growth. Why you have time? Why you have time? And then being able to leave a legacy that mattered. People remembering what you did, how you inspired them, how you motivated them, what you created that changed their life. I mean, this cat heifer spray, you know what I'm saying? It could be a thing, man. I mean, just saying, it's all these ideas, bro. If nothing else, it could be a great skit, D-Rob. Just throwing it out there. Nothing else, it could be a great skit. It could be a really good skit that could catch on, and you could actually start selling cat heifer spray t-shirts. Just have a spray bottle. Everybody gonna know what that is. On the can, CH. Everybody know what that means. Oh, that's the cat heifer shirt. Oh man, where you get the new cat heifer shirt from? but this is what I'm telling you. An idea, no matter how far-fetched, no matter how it started, could be a thing if you take care of the seed and you develop it. If you take care of it and develop it, it can be a thing. It truly can be. Something as silly as something that started right here. Back away, move, get away from me. That could really become a thing that you can monetize, that you can make money off of. I say you because I'm not going to take your idea unless you tell me you ain't going to do nothing with it, then you know what I'm saying. Your boy might slide in there, you know what I'm saying. Man might come up with a couple skits down the road, you know. But that's your idea. I respect that. I appreciate you bringing that energy. You better trademark it because you never know who's going to see this video, bro. You know, people are kleptos in this social media space. They kleptos. If you want to do something with it now, don't be mad in 10 years. Somebody caught this video and be like, yo, that's a good idea. And then they go out and trademark the license and they selling cat heifer spray in Walmart on Amazon. True story. Most ideas come about very similar to how we going. We're going to get into that more on Wednesday. No goals. Hey, man, you even got the definition. Brother, that's a whole movement. That's a whole movement, bro. So technically it's some intellectual property right now. You've coined it. We've acknowledged that you've coined it. So you got a intellectual property claim right now. But, you know, it's hard to trademark ideas. You need to write this joker down. Put it in an envelope, mail it to yourself. That's poor man's copyright, by the way. See, whole lot of nuggets and tips I had today. But it's Monday. We all got stuff to do. I appreciate you for all your efforts, all your time, your energy. And it's been a long, fast show today. But it was a good show. I hope the point was impressed to not waste time. Whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, whatever this burning desire that you have, you got to see it through. You got to go take action immediately. You got to be persistent, consistent, and you got to go out there and make it happen. Nobody's going to make it happen. Nobody's going to help you unless they see you really working toward it. And when people see you pushing that car on the side of the road, somebody's going to get out and help you push. But if you're just sitting in the car, watching traffic go by, waiting on AAA to get there, then nobody's going to stop. They're going to figure you don't want help, you don't need help, or you got it figured out already. But if you're working and you're letting people know the community that you're in, you're going to find somebody that will support the idea, support the concept, support the mission. You're going to find somebody who is with the mode that you're on. And they're going to be there. They're going to help you overcome. They're going to help keep you encouraged. They're going to be that rock that you need. So just be vigilant. So just be vigilant with your goals, your dreams, and take care of your seeds. And our ideas will blossom, and it will become some things, and now you will have a harvest worthy of the talents that were given to you. The accountability for what you was given. The balance will be paid, and you will live an amazing life. You will maximize your opportunities, and you will live a life that most people only dream of. And they'll say, hey man, this person got lucky. D-Rob got lucky, man. He just so happened to fall into the right place, and now he's coaching he's the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys now. He got lucky, but they didn't see your struggle. But we gonna say, oh man, we remember when we saw the work. Some of your family, bruh, we're gonna be your greatest support. We're gonna be your biggest cheerleaders when we sitting on the sideline with the press pass, shaking hands with the players, watching you work. Oh man, I can't wait for that day. That's right. He put in that work. We remember when he needed the associate's degree to get to one particular job, and that turned into one thing to the next thing. Shoot. But that's it. I can dream big with you guys all day, but I gotta go. Got a couple deadlines, and I got a busy week. So I see you guys on Wednesday. Yep, on Wednesday. Y'all have a great day no matter what. Shout out to my guy Health Talk, Craig G out there, brick by brick. Gary with the E. Y'all be blessed, man. Love you. Much love and appreciation. Peace.